Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I have another Thrunite flashlight to review. This is one that's pretty small, but the reason I'm here with the Gladiator is because this is one that I want to take and just throw in the glove box of the Gladiator, so my wife will have a small light with her. Anytime if she's out, something happens, this would be a good little light just to keep in the Gladiator with her. You can throw this thing in your bicycle, your backpack, just throw it on the nightstand to get around the house at night if something was to happen, power go out. But nice and compact. We're going to take it out of the package here, then I'll do a close-up here in just a little bit and show you it. Haven't opened it yet. So packed really good, just like all the Thrunite lights are. And here it is. Take off this little tag. Thrunite always puts this little tag on there, which basically shows that to fire this thing up, if you just turn the button on, it won't come on. Because what they do is they screw the cap apart here a little bit so the battery's not making contact. And all you got to do is tighten this thing up and your light should come on. So good idea. I do notice right off the bat this button is kind of different than some of them that I do. So it's actually a plastic or rubberized button that you can see the blue right here behind it. And very cool. It's kind of a chunky little light. It's not real small around. This is the T3 light from Thrunite, and it is LED and it is rechargeable. And the cool part about it is it's rechargeable by USB-C to USB. So all you have to do is take this thing. That's what's cool about keeping it in your vehicle. Just take your USB-C, plug it in here, plug it into USB in your car, whatever. You could use a portable power bank to charge it, and you'll be good to go. This got a clip on here, which is a double clip, so it's made to open both ways. You can slide it on from this way, or you can slide it on from the other way. Instead of having to turn the clip around, when a lot of stuff would just clip one way, this does both directions. So nice belt clip that they always put on the Thrunite lights. This is a more of a spot because it don't have a orange peel. It actually has a real nice chrome shiny parabola inside here. It does have a nice little glass lens. So it's a good looking light, and it is black anodized aluminum. So let's zoom up closer where we can see a few things about this light. And then we'll take it out as soon as it's dark and try this thing out and see how good it is. Okay, so here we have the light up closer. I was showing you how it was a shiny, it's not a orange peel look. So this is going to make a nice little spot. Has a single LED in it. And this is a cool white version. They may have it in another version, but this is the cool white, which is the ones that I like the most. These are pretty much waterproof. They have O-rings, and so they're pretty much sealed. You can see all the stuff like Thrunite always does, which is the gold contacts. It's a very good PC board in there with gold contacts. And then we have the battery, which is not just a small 18C50 battery. This is actually a 21700 3.6 volt, 4000 milliamp battery. And as I've said before, the Thrunite batteries are true to what they say. So if it says 4000 milliamp hour, if you take this thing, put it on a tester, which I do, and you can test this thing, charge it and test it, and it will be pretty close, if not above 4000 milliamp hours. So very cool. Even has a gold contact on top of the battery. Down inside here, it does have a gold spring. So being gold plated, it's not going to corrode. A lot of lights that are cheap are made just with steel springs, steel contacts, or even brass or something. So they'll corrode up on you. But this one should be really, really good. Let me show you this light, what I was telling you about. So when you turn it on, you can see that's glowing blue. When you're actually charging this thing, it will probably be red. And then when it's full charge, it will turn blue. And what we have on the functions here, right here, so far we have, so this is the infinity. What it has is like we're on low right now. And instead of having modes going low, medium, and high by pressing it, you just actually hold it down. It's going to go up brighter and brighter until it gets too high. And then when it flashes, that means you're all the way up. If you hold it again, it's going to start dropping down in intensity. And when it gets to low, it's going to flash again. Turn it off. So if we hold this down for a few seconds, we'll go to Firefly mode, which is very dim, but very useful. I'll show you how many hours this thing will run. It'll blow your mind. How much this thing will run on Firefly. And if you need something for a long time for survival, the Firefly is pretty cool. We'll take this thing and double tap it, and then we have our turbo mode, which is crazy. It's actually blinding me just looking at my hand right there. That is so bright. Okay, the next thing, if we triple tap this thing, what we're going to get is strobe. So if strobes bother you, you might want to turn away because I'm going to triple tap it here, and we'll have strobe flash. And man, it strobes good, really nice. You can see it kind of lagging in the strobe. That's just the video on the camera because the frame rate, but actually in real life here, it's actually not. It's real nice strobe. Very nice. So turn it back on. We're going to be in low because it's going to have our memory. If we was to crank this thing up, and we turn it off, turn it back on, it retains the memory, and it's going to be right where we want it. If we have this thing all the way up, all the way down, turn it off, turn it back on, we have the memory. It's going to be exactly where we turn it off. Same way on high. We'll crank it up all the way on high. Now we're on high, turn it off, turn it back on. Next time you turn it on, it's going to be high just where you want it. I do like that feature. So let's look at the manual and what we have in the box. So in the box, of course, we have the piece of foam here. This is going to be our manual. And just like Thrunite, they always put the extra stuff. It's got some O-rings here. And it's got a little wrist strap here so you can put this through it, put this thing on your wrist. And very simple because they do have a hole right here to run it through, like so. And then we'll just feed this thing in like so. And the cool thing about all their wrist strap is it has this little piece on here right here. And when you put this on your wrist, a lot of times they're just loose. Well, if you slide this up like so, then it's going to be snug around your wrist. Slide it back off here. Okay, so I actually didn't know it come with one of those, but it does come with a case. So these are nice nylon cases. It does say Thrunite on it. It has a belt loop right here, so you can put it on your belt, or you can actually hang it with a little D-ring right here. Nice and Velcro. So you can just slide this thing in, and just like that. I actually don't use these much. I mean, sometimes they're handy. I actually store the lights in this, so it protects them. So you throw this in your glove box, put it in this, and will actually protect it. But then when I'm actually carrying, I like to use the clip. The clips are real nice because you just slide that over your belt, over your pants, either way. You can clip it this way, or you can clip it this way. And this way pretty much is made, and it works real good. You can slide this right over the bill of your hat. So you just slide this over the bill of your hat, and you have like a headlamp. Works real cool for that too. Next thing we have here is the power cord, which is USB to USB-C, as I was saying. It's real cool that they use USB-C because that's the modern thing to use. And so if we open this little flap up right here, you can see our USB-C. All we do is plug this in, plug it in here. When we charge it, it's going to be showing our red and turn blue when it's full charge. So as far as our specs, as I said, this is the Thrunite T3. Nice compact flashlight, anodized aluminum, waterproof, super bright. Let's look at the specs here. So here's the instructions, and what you can do is actually just pause this video right here, and then you can zoom up and see what you want. If you can read whatever you want, that way you don't have to read the whole thing. I just want to mention a few things like the intensities. And what we have here is the strobe mode is 610 lumens. It lasts 5.5 hours on strobe. Firefly, which is the one I was telling you about that's super low, it's incredible. Firefly is 0.44 lumens is all it is, and will last 133 days. Now that is incredible. Okay, so then we have the infinity low, which is the lowest when we're using the variable part where it goes up and down. The lowest is 37 lumens and will last 53 hours. That's a long time on low power. And low power is a lot of light on this thing. Then we have the Infinity High. And what the Infinity High does, because it gets pretty warm just like our turbo, it will run 1077 lumens for 40 seconds. And then after 40 seconds, it will drop down automatically to 605 lumens. That's to protect it, to keep it cool, not burn the LED up, and not get too hot. And then it will run 180 minutes on the 605 lumens. Turbo does the same thing, only more power. So turbo will be 2,250 lumens and will last 50 seconds. And then after it drops down after 50 seconds, it's going to be 621 lumens and will last 170 minutes on 621 lumens. So that's a pretty incredible light. Really, really, really cool. We're going to take this thing out at night, try it out, see what it looks like. Okay, guys, here we are with the Thrunite T3 LED flashlight. Now, this thing has that 21700 battery, so as big as that battery is for this small light, it's going to be pretty powerful. It is lithium ion, of course, and it's going to last a long time. We're going to test it here, turn it on. Okay, for right now, I want to show it on the garage shining here so we can see the infinity. This is on infinity high. We're going to go down to infinity low, which is variable. When it flashes like that, now we are on low. When we hold it again, it's going to brighten up slowly. So the cool part about the variable is instead of being just low, medium, and high, we actually just can vary it a little bit brighter or dimmer, whichever way we want. I turn it off. Hold it again. We're going to go low. Blinks, we're on low. Hold it again. We'll go to infinity high. Now we're on high because it was blinking. So that's a pretty cool way to do it. Instead of having the standard high, medium, low, you can vary it to your liking, whatever you want. Man, this thing is actually powerful. And I don't actually have this on turbo yet. That is on high. And you can see it shining up here in these trees, how bright this thing is. So this thing is super, super bright. Shining up in these biggest trees right on the top, just like nothing. Pretty incredible lights. You can see the beam shining out through the sky here. It is dark, but it's not real dark tonight. But dark enough you can see it real good. Let's turn this thing on low and see how it is. So we can go all the way down to low, which is plenty. You can still see the trees, the ground right here. We go over to this tree here. You can't see those far away trees over there lighting up very much at all. There's a little bit of light on it, not much. But when we go, of course, to infinity high, now we got it lit up with some super light. So if we double click this, we'll put this on turbo. Now there's turbo, which is really bright. Let me hold this out here so you can see the light. See the blue LED showing we're on here. I did charge it up to full charge before this test. So lit up nicely. Okay, now we'll turn this thing on to Firefly, which is the super low. And Firefly, you can see it down there on the ground. Now you're not going to see this in the trees. This is not the purpose of it. The purpose of this is for like if you need a light for several days, like whatever it said, 133 days, 130 something days, then that's what it's going to be good for the Firefly. And like I said, Firefly is good enough. You can still see to get by with. If you was in a survival situation, you would love to have something like this. Even I've mentioned before, taking these lights like this, use the Firefly in a cave if you was lost in there, stranded, hurt. This would be awesome to have a very good light using this Firefly. We'll go ahead and turn this thing on normal here. Let's see, we are on probably low. Let's hold this. Yeah, we're on low. So we do the infinity high until it flashes. Check out that tree. You can see over there across the road. Now what we're going to do is put this on turbo and see the difference. This is on high. We'll double tap it, go to turbo here. Now look at it. That dude lights it up. Very impressive on turbo. And turbo is something that you could use search and rescue. You really want to reach out there and see. You wouldn't need this most of the time, even like changing the flat on your car. You can get by with low on stuff like that. You can see them lights way over there. Reflection. See the reflection of these signs way down there? So it even draws in the bugs. No doubt about that. So turbo is awesome. But like I said, most of the time, there's high. We'll let this go down to infinity low. So most of the time you're going to use it down here on infinity low. It's going to last a super long time. Plenty of light for everything you need to do. You want to look at something, work on your car, shine it around, use it inside the house, use it in your shed. If your power goes out, go to the breaker panel. It's going to be great for that. And not even have to use that super bright light. But like I said, it is there if you need it. Let's turn this thing on strobe so you can see the strobe. Now, if strobes bother you, you might not want to look at this, but we'll triple tap it and we'll put it on strobe. And there's strobe, and man, it is super fast, super eye-catching, and super bright. Now you can see the little bit of hesitation once in a while on this video. That's just the frame rate of the camera doing that. Actually, what I'm seeing without the camera, it's not that way. It's just a perfect, super fast strobe flash. Dim. We'll go back up to bright. You can see that low, go back up to bright. Big, big, big difference. These trees are awesome on high. So this is a super cool light. And like I said, this light is going to go in the Jeep Gladiator, something we're going to keep in there. You could throw this in your motorcycle. You could just throw it in your house, someplace on your nightstand, whatever you need this at night. You want to go out and, use, like I say, use it in the breaker panel, or we're going to keep this in the Jeep. And just in case we have a flat or anything, this would be the way to go. Because, you know, these days, the big old gigantic lights, to get any light at all, they're gone. I mean, these days we have nice little LED lights with lithium-ion batteries like this one. Super compact, super bright, lasts a lot longer, and a lot less money than those big old lights. So nowadays, these things are the way to go, and a lot more handy. I'd rather carry one of these around any day than one of those big old lights. So very cool. There's a camera on that tree, and I'm recording myself. So yeah, this is the way to go, guys. This light here, I will post a link to this below, of course. Skip that part. So there we go. The Thrunite T3. Very nice little compact, waterproof, super bright flashlight, LED. All right, guys, so that was the Thrunite T3. Very cool light. As I said, what I'm going to do with this thing is I'm going to keep this in the Jeep Gladiator for my wife or for me. If we're out, something happens, we need some light. This thing will fit in the glove box real nice and neat. Keep it in this pouch to protect it, and it won't be banging or rattling around. But very cool light. This is going to be a good one for that, and for a lot of other purposes also, depending on what your needs are. But you can go out and spend a lot of money on a big brand name, and I'm telling you, these Thrunite lights are just as good or better than a lot of them. They're just as good. They are just as good a build quality, just as good a battery, and just very refined, very nice quality lights, and just as bright. Brighter than a lot of them for the money. I'm telling you, super quality. So I will post a link below to my Amazon where you can check one of these out, and also when you get to Thrunite on Amazon, from my link, you can check it. They have tons of light, from small lights to big, huge throw lights, all kinds of lights. But thank y'all for watching. Please click the thumbs up on my video, subscribe to the channel. Catch you on the next one, and ride on.